Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yung theory ko, iba po dun sa theory ni Honorable Adiong. May I know, General Villanueva, you said that the big guns from offices from Manila came to Davao. May I know what date they arrived?
January 1, 2005, Mr. Chair.
January 1. Nangyari yung mga raids December 31, gabi. Would that be correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Tapos January 1, immediately nakarating yung mga big guns sa Krame.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sino kaya nag-report sa kanila yung pangyayari?
Mr. Chair, ako, Mr. Chair. Actually, Mr. Chair, in the report ko na agad kay General Abenido yung Mr. Chair prior to the implementation of search warrant.
Yeah.
Ang sabi nga sa akin, Mr. Chair, is wag muna at New Year yan.
Okay. Yun lang po ang gusto kong pakisagot lang po yun. Now, a certain Carillo is a member of your unit then?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Ang hinahanap ni Honorable Adiong yung 11. Tama?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yung puzzle, hindi kompleto. Kaya hindi ma-piece ni Honorable Adiong. Even myself, I cannot piece or complete the puzzle. Why? Because there are certain pieces that are missing. And the only available pieces of evidence would be the statement of Mrs. Jed Pilapil C., the blatter in the custody of PDEA, regarding the sequence of events that transpired during that incident. That would be correct, PDEA.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And the third document would be the affidavit of Las Cañas. Tatlo, we do not know where Alan C. is. There's no report where he is from the official documents, except yung statement ni Mrs. Jed Pilapil C. when she appeared sa isang hearing. At ang sinabi niya na a friend called her during that time doon sa incident that her husband is already dead. Yun lang ang piece of evidence natin na magsasabi kung ano ang nangyari kay Alan C. Yung statement ng asawa niya na may nagsabi, tumawag sa kanya na patay na yung kanyang asawa. 2, yung 11, we do not know where they are. But the blatter of the PDEA will tell us that the elements of the government forces got them from Arlene apartment. That would be correct, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And they were turned over sa police, doon sa blatter mismo. Right? But I did not see any part of the blatter. I do not know if I can remember it. Walang sinasabi sa blatter na nabasa ko na itinurn over sa BI. Is there? Asek Gumban?
There is a note here, sir, that it was turned over to BID.
Yeah, pero hindi sinabi kung sino sa BID ang tumanggap.
Yes, sir. No name, sir.
Yes. Mr. Chair, the Attorney Conte is asking for... Mr. Chair,
Okay. Yes, you're excused.
So yun ang magpapatunay, yung 11 na sinasabi ni Honorable Adiong. Tama? Na na-turn over sa BI.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. But in the affidavit of Las Cañas, meron pang nawawalang 10. Because in the affidavit of Las Cañas, in the Dumoy raid, 6 ang patay, 10 ang buhay. And the 10 persons who were alive then were turned over by Carillo to Las Cañas. And according to the affidavit, gusto pa ngang sumama ni Carillo para daliin yung 10. So yun ngayon ang supported by documents. That is why I have another theory doon sa theory ni Honorable Adiong. Kasi tatlo yung grupo ng tao. One, si Alan C. Ang nagsasabi lang ang sitwasyon niya, sinabi ng isang kaibigan ni Mrs. C na patay na yung kanyang asawa. Yung 11, ang ebidensya lang na may 11 na taken from the Arlene Apartments yung blatter na nandun sa PDEA. Correct, Asay Kumbay?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Pero another document, yung affidavit ni Las Cañas, nagsasabi may 10 tao pa. What can you say about that, Gerald Villanueva?
I can say anything about Mr. Las Cañas, Mr. Chair. But yung sa Arlene Apartment,
But would you agree that Las Cañas was there in Davao during that time, 2004?
come again, Mr. Chair.
Would you agree that Las Cañas was there in Davao in 2004? Kasi 20 years ago ito eh.
Hindi ko, Mr. Chair, hindi ko kasi kilala si Las Cañas eh. Never talagang nakita ko si Las Cañas at hindi ko siya kilala,
Yeah,
Mr. Chair.
Pero sinasabi ko na ito yung mga dokumento. Samantalang yung mga sinasabi nyo, there's no evidence whatsoever which are available. Di ba? Wala. Pero ito, tama nga yung sinasabi ni Honorable Adiong there's no recourse for us to believe yung sinasabi ni Las Cañas. Kasi nandito affidavit. Subscribe and sworn to. Samantalang yung mga sinasabi ninyo, you cannot offer any piece of evidence. Patay na si Carillo, patay na yung nag-imbestiga kay Jed Pilapilsi. Di ba? Wala. May presenta ba kayo na ebidensya? Aside from these documents na nandyan? Kaya sabi ko, we cannot complete the puzzle simply because some pieces are not available. But we can we can come up with certain conclusions na pwedeng patay na si Alan C. May 10 tao na namatay din at may 11 na tinurn over sa BID. Why? Because it's supported by evidence. Pero yung sinasabi ninyo, wala kayong ebidensya na may pakita sa amin. Hinahanap nga ni Honorable Adiong pero wala. So that is the current situation. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair,
Thank you, Congressman Acop. Yes, Congressman Abante.
I would like to just refer this to Major General Salvador, no? Because there are 2 still active police officers that are involved in the killings. We have actually asked them to be here, no? One is Colonel Patay, who admitted that during his time in Batasan as station commander, that more than 100 people were killed.
May na-mention po kayong 11 Chinese nationals. Ito po yung naaresto. Ilang tao po bang naaresto dun sa Adlaw?
Hindi ko alam kung ilan yung arrest. Walang naaresto sa
Walang
Adlaw,
na-arrest?
Mr. Chair.
Okay. Sa Bunawan, may naaresto po?
Wala na, Mr. Chair, kasi nakuha na namin si Jong Pilapil
Okay.
sa Bunawan.
Okay. So, yung 11 Chinese nationals, ito yung sa Arlene Apartments.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So, this was, yes.
11 people, not necessarily lahat Chinese national. 11
How many of them
people,
were Chinese?
Hindi ko na nga, yun ang isa sa mga ano ko, Mr. Chair. Kasi ang BID ang ano niyan it was Carillo and BID. Sila na yung nagdala ng mga personalities sa BID, Mr. Chair, for questioning. From Arlene Apartment, Mr. Yung apartment kasi, Mr. Chair, it's about 10-door apartment.
So, ito pong sa Arlene, let me proceed with Arlene Apartments, no? So, 11 individuals, and some of them were Chinese. Tama po ba?
Yes, yes, Mr. Chair.
So, this was would it be safe to describe this Arlene Apartment as a post-raid operation? Because this is very much connected with Dumoy operation that you conducted. Was it a day after or 3 days after?
Actually, after I believe it's after, it's conducted on January 1, Mr. Chair.
So this was after the Dumoy?
After the Dumoy.
Okay,
Mr.
so this is a post-operation investigation.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay, tama po ba yung description
Hindi ko
ko?
lang alam yung date, Mr. Chair, kasi nakalogbook naman yon, Mr. Chair, sa PDEA logbook, Mr. Chair.
Well, if you had already conducted a surveillance or at least had a lead with these two chemist nationals who went straight to Arlene apartment, and you already have substantial information that Dumoy and Arlene apartment may be very much well connected, bakit hindi nagkaroon ng sabay na operation with Dumoy and then at the same time Arlene? Why was there any separate investigation or a post-operation investigation that happened dyan sa Arlene apartment?
Ang priority namin talaga doon, Mr. Chair, is Dumoy, kasi naandun ang clandestine laboratory. So after that, post-operation na lang yung post-operation investigation na yung kinakandak natin after that Dumoy.
You said that 11 individuals were detained,
Invited.
aresto?
Mr. Chair, kasi wala ako doon eh. Kasi nga, immediately after that, dumating yung mga top-notch ng PNP, AFP, PDEA sa Dumoy. So that was January 1. Inasikaso namin sila and we conducted briefing on those top personalities doon sa Dumoy, Mr. Chair. And during that time, it was SPO for Carillo and according doon sa blatter is Colonel Quedato, ang nagdala ng mga personalities na nasa Dumoy papunta ng BID.
You mean the Bureau of Immigration?
Bureau of Immigration, Mr. Chair. Kasi nga, mga Chinese personalities yung mga naandon.
But let me correct my data kasi in the previous hearing, Mr. Chair, you said that 11 Chinese nationals ang na-apprehend or na-invite doon sa apartment, or would you correct your statement on this?
Hindi, again, Mr. Chair, wala akong idea sa number. Kasi nga, matagal na. So, hindi ko alam, Mr. Chair, kung ilan yung dinala doon sa BID, Mr. Chair. Kung 11 yun, then that's 11. But, it was recorded and logged through SPO for Carillo. Apparently, ang kasama niya is Colonel Quedato from who was the foreign liaison ng intelligence, PNP intelligence during that time.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, who ordered this post-operation investigation on Arlene apartment? Since you were sabi nga kanina, ikaw yung head ng operation
Yes,
na
Mr.
to.
Chair.
So command responsibility applies to you.
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair.
So who
Kasi-
ordered, since you were not there during this investigation, yung pagpunta sa Arlene apartment, since you were absent and you mentioned about SPO4 Baltasar Carillo,
Yes.
no?
Yes, sir.
Who apparently, it turned out that ito ba si Carillo, same Carillo ba ang
Carillo.
Carillo,
Carillo,
namatay
Mr.
po sa
Chair.
service,
Yes, Mr.
active
Chair.
service. Ito pong si Monty Di Ramos din po, patay din.
Investigator ko yan, Mr. Chair.
Patay din po.
Patay na din daw.
Okay, since you were not present in the Arlene apartment post-operation, sino po ba sa mga team mo ang po pwedeng mag-corroborate? Kasi gusto kong malaman kung how these nationals or Chinese national were turned over to Bureau of Immigration, which I'd like to ask Bureau of Immigration later on.
Hindi ko na malaman, Mr. Chair, kasi ang parati ko naalala is yung team leader ko. And then the team leader chooses yung team niya, kung sino yung pwedeng
Pero
kasama.
kayo po yung nag-order nung
Yes,
ano?
yes, Mr. Chair. Yes,
Pero
Mr. Chair.
si SPO4 Baltasar Carillo po yung team leader ninyo.
Siya ang operations, chief of operations ko, Mr. Chair. And nakita niya na vital yung pag-investigate doon sa mga Chinese na naando sa Dumoy dahil ang dami pang unanswered question namin doon sa Arlene apartment, Mr. Chair. Kasi 5-door nga yun, Mr. Chair. And all of the part of the apartment, yung 5 apartment na yon, is sila yung sila yung tumira doon during that time.
Well, I hope you can still remember the individuals or the officers who were also involved in the post-operation on Arlene apartment. Kasi si Carillo, wala na po siya. Ito si Monte de Ramos, patay na rin po.
Alam ko, Mr. Chair, may
Can you
kasama
give us a name? Kasi
Davao City Police Office, but I don't know kung sino yung kasama nila eh.
I'm sure mayroon pong buhay sa members sa unit
I'm
na yun.
sure, Mr. Chair.
Would
But
you know?
kasi,
Can you give us names?
hindi ko nga matandaan kung sinong member ng Davao City Police Office na kasama namin. Kasi sila yung tumulong sa amin na mag-secure nung Chinese nationals at magdala sa Bureau of Immigration and Deportation,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Bureau of Immigration, do we have Bureau of Immigration?
Kaya nga, Mr. Chair, it's vital kasi public knowledge ito, Mr. Chair, na talagang tanungin natin yung taga Bureau of Immigration kasi sila ang makakasagot doon sa post-operation natin sa Dumoy as far as Arlene apartment is concerned, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Bureau of Immigration, do we have... please, sir, can you confirm to us that there was indeed a turnover of 11 individuals, many of them are Chinese, on the date that was mentioned in 2004, immediately after the Dumoy raid? These are apparently resident or sila po yung umuupa doon sa 5 doors ng Arlene apartment. Can you give us provide us some information as to confirm that such turnover of these individuals from the investigative unit to BI, Region 11? Do you have a record? Kasi gusto kong malaman kung sino yung mga involved na members po nung unit na yun. Kasi apparently, 2 ang na-mention po ay patay na. Yes, Bureau of Immigration.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Your Honors. Your Honor, Commissioner Viado wrote the Quadcom today requesting for additional time to locate the files because apparently the files would contain the complete name of the Chinese nationals there, the immigration officials involved in the turnover or whatever operation there is. We are unable to locate the files just now because the storage building used by the immigration was vacated and everything was moved to Malabon in September, Mr. Chair. So right now they're still trying to locate the files.
So sa Makatwid, you're having trouble locating the files.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
But narinig, meron po kayong at least man lang, can you confirm that there was indeed an incident took place in Davao City?
We cannot confirm that with certainty, Your Honor, but apparently there was indeed a turnover, but we are not sure of the personalities involved there. That is why the Bureau of Immigration is requesting for additional time to locate the files, Your Honor, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Dahil this is the reason why, Mr. Chair, I'm very much interested in finding out kung ano yung nangyari dito sa mga Chinese nationals at saka yung mga individuals. It's because can I ask again, General Wilkins? You said that you do not have any follow-up information regarding the 11 individuals that were arrested or invited to and turned over to BI. Tama po ba?
Na-turn over sila sa NBI. Mr. Chair, ganito kasi. Pwede nating ma-find out kung sino yung in charge ng NBI during that time, nung January 1, 2004. Kasi yung kung sinong in charge ng BID during that time, yun ang pwede sumagot, Mr. Chair. Kasi sila lang yung makakasagot doon, Mr. Chair. And hindi ko na na-follow up yon. Although, Mr. Chair, it's a public knowledge sa Davao City na naandun yung mga Chinese national, Mr.
That's why
even media is monitoring those people in the BID,
no, I'm
Mr.
not
Chair.
contesting that it really happened. But what I want is it's a black and white paper that confirms that there was a transfer. Because the reason, Mr. Chair, I'm asking this, it's because there's no information that available as to the 11 Chinese nationals after the turnover. there was not even an information kung anong nangyari kay Alan C. Hindi ho ba? Crowning moment ito eh. Dapat may follow-up yan na information. And I don't think we just leave it at that. After the Dumoy raid, the Adlaw, etc., titigil na po ang ating law enforcement agencies. Kung talagang totoong si Alan C. ang mastermind dyan, they could have at least follow up and follow through with the investigation regardless whether General Wilkins Villanueva was still the head of this investigative unit or not. That is where I'm having trouble understanding because it seems that we reached a dead end. Which supposed to be, andyan yung at large pa, si Alan C., kung titingnan natin kasi walang information, 11 nationals. But, this is what confuses me. But, the information that is available, consistent with the numbers, 11 and Alan C., is the testimony in affidavit of Las Cañas and the pronouncement of the former President Duterte. Kaya nga po tinatanong ko po kayo kung ano yung follow-up dito. Kasi if we try to get all the circumstances, the narration, etc., General Wilkins, you cannot provide me, and I wonder why you did not do follow-ups. I'm not saying that you remiss your job, but as, you know, you should have, that's your crowning moment. And Alan C., according to you, is, kumbaga, if we base our appreciation of all these facts that you have presented to us, Alan C. appears to be the mastermind. How come there was no follow-up? How come you cannot even pinpoint kung anong nangyari kay Alan C.? Pero, according po, according po sa isang news article and I guess a statement by the former president, ang sabi po niya, and I quote, no, pinapatay ito ang sinabi niya. Ang salaysay po ni Las Cañas, kasama daw sa turnover sa kanya isang taong nagangalang Alan C. Ayun po sa utos ni former Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. Now, that's the only information that we can have available to us after this Dumoy raid. That according to Las Cañas, there was an order of turnover and there was a direct order from then Mayor Duterte to, according dito, patayin si Alan C. If there's no available information that we can have, ito lang yung available na information, we cannot fault the members of this committee to believe Las Cañas because you're not offering us a counter-information, kumbaga, other alternative possible narration of what happened to Alan C. You said walang nangyari. Ngayon, according to this report that came out on March 6, 2017, I believe he was already the president, ang sa headline, Duterte ordered killing of 11 Chinese drug suspects, which basically it's that pushes this representation, perhaps some of the members here in this committee, to believe that the numbers that were cited, 11, it coincides with the 11 Chinese nationals who up to now, wala tayong makuha na information from BI na according to the report, ang sabi po ay niliquidate na. So if General Wilkins, you cannot offer us another information, then you cannot fault this committee to believe in the affidavit because it fits quite perfectly well. I mean, accurately with the Las Cañas affidavit, if you corroborate that, ibangga mo doon sa mga data na sinubmit you, which apparently up to now ay walang follow-up na information at hanging yung resulta ng kanyang investigation from Arlene apartment to BI to the number of Chinese to the claim of Colonel Las Cañas and even to the statement of then President Duterte. Tama po ba na analysis ko yon na General Wilkins Villanueva?
Mr. Chair, yun nga yung kinalulungkot namin. Kasi dalawa yung nakaligtas doon si Johnson Chua tsaka si Alan C. Johnson Chua, yun yung we believe na siya yung nag-finance talaga ng laboratory, Mr. Chair. Limited, during that time kasi, Mr. Chair, limited talaga yung capability namin. Kasi after that, nag-alisan na lahat Kami na lang naiwan So limited yung capability to look for yung as far as manhunt of those two personalities is concerned. Now, yung sinasabi na pumasok sa BID, hindi na alam kung ano nangyari. Mr. Chair, lumabas, may isang mga, according to ex-Senator Trillanes, na galit nga siya dahil ang inilagay doon, dahil Chinese New Year, palalabasin yung mga matatandang incheck na inilagay sa, na idinala sa BID, Mr. Chair. I still can remember that. Hindi ko lang dala yung laptop ko, Mr. Chair. Ibig sabihin, naandun yung mga Chinese personalities na inimbestigahan na doon sa BID, Mr. Chair. Kaya nga, it's really important for the Bureau of Immigration and Deportation to find out sino yung chief during that time. Kasi dapat siya ang tanungin natin dito, Mr. Chair. Kasi sila yung tumanggap ng Chinese national dun sa kanilang departamento, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we are all serious in really trying to protect our streets from illegal drug trade. We are all serious. We are nobody in this room, Mr. Chair, na magsasabing ayaw namin sa droga. Pare-pareho po tayo dyan. But let's be serious about it, no? Kung gusto ho natin talagang mapinpoint kung sino yung mastermind dyan, in this case, sabi nga, si Alan C., wala pang follow-up information, hindi nga natin alam. How can we seriously try to eliminate drug syndicate when in fact, if the only available information that we have is instead of a follow-up investigation, these 11 Chinese nationals could be a very important source of information to follow through your investigation. Because I believe this is not just a local problem. This is an international problem. And apparently, if these 4 Chinese nationals are involved in the illegal drugs, it means to say that we are importing illegal drugs. Kukonek ko po doon sa BIC, merong 6 metric tons, 6-point-something billion tons of chabu that were smuggled in right before our doorstep sa MICP. And it's very saddening, no? If you're really serious in trying to curb illegal drugs, root out illegal drugs from our system, from our country, then that was a perfect opportunity for us to really locate the big fishes, Alan C. But now we can even know where Alan C is. And yet here comes Las Cañas who are offering us an information that he did put a bullet in the head of Alan C. So it leaves us with no option but to believe in the affidavit that perhaps these 11 nationals were a victim of EJK. Would that be a correct assessment, General Wilkins Villanueva?
Hindi ko alam, Mr. Chair, kung
But you're offering us
sasang-ayunan ko yon
Yeah.
or hindi. Basta ang pwede ko lang sabihin is yung meron akong personal knowledge. Napakalaking operation nito, Mr. Chair. Umabot, ang immediate follow-up kasi namin dito, it's not really on immediate sa apartment kasi yung mga naandon, Mr. Chair, dinoble check namin, wala namang kaming nakita during the surveillance operation na involve yung mga naandon. Pero, just the same, Chinese national Kaya diniretso na namin sila sa BID. Dumiretso kami dun sa pwedeng achievable follow-up operation, which is yung nakuha na namin nung May sa Cagayan de Oro, Mr. Chair. Doon kasi yung effort Kukunti lang ang tao namin during that time, Mr. Chair. Kaya yun yung effort namin. Sandali, baka may nakatayo na naman ng laboratory dito. Yun yung, doon kami nag-effort talaga, Mr. Chair. Dahil we know, meron naman akong legal and investigation and prosecution team na magfa-file ng kaso doon sa mga nahuli namin. So, pinabayaan na natin yon. Ginawa na nila yung trabaho nila. We went on another possible laboratory, which is doon namin nakuha doon sa Cagayan de Oro naman, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Well, for my last point, Mr. Chair, sayang lang. Kasi seryoso naman talaga tayo, lahat tayo, na itanggalin ang illegal drugs sa atin. Suportado. And I would like, and I even commend you for your services to the government. But ito lang po ang nakikita natin based on all of the raids that happened. And I think this is a lost opportunity sana. Jed Pilapil appeared before this committee and confirmed, recognized, identified that there was a certain individual by the name of Hong Ming who owns DCLA mall in Davao City, which apparently Alan C., who according to your investigation is the head or the mastermind of the illegal drug manufacturing syndicate in Davao City, who happens to have a business in the mall that owns by Hong Min, who turned out to be Michael Yang. That's a lost opportunity. Sana, if we follow through, mas malaki pa yung makukuha nyo. Alan C. is nowhere to be found. Lost opportunity. And the only information that we gather is the statement of former President Duterte out in the public and Las Cañas. Mind you, General Wilkins, we don't make up stories here. We based our understanding on the documents that you submit, on the statements of any officials involved during the Dumlao and many other areas in Davao raids. No less than the former president said, pinaliquidate niya yung 11 Chinese. So you cannot fault the members here if we believe that, because you offer us no alternative, no other information than the information of Las Cañas, corroborated by then the statement came out. I don't know if it's an interview, but this is already out, and you can search that, you can Google that. The interview was there, conducted on March 6, 2017. He was already the president. That's a lost opportunity. If indeed, if we believe it to be true, what the president said in this interview, then the 11 Chinese could have been a very important source of information to track down transnational crimes. Sayang lang. Kasi kung according to the statement of then President Duterte, ay naging produkto sila ng EJK. It's an EJK because they had no other ways to defend themselves before the court. They were not even deported to China. I don't know if BI was already coordinated with the Chinese embassy to deport these Chinese nationals, but according to Las Cañas, they ended up with the bullets in their heads. Mr. Chair, marami pong salamat sa opportunity, and thank you, General Wilkins, for your service to the country.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman